So you're going to start out with that talk in the beginning. Does that go into what you sent me?
Oh, the thing I sent you, your little intro. Your little, I wrote.
Hi, this is Bree, and you're listening to the Hot Car Podcast.
Your little intro thing.
Well, hey there, big boy. My name's Sheriff Dan, and you're listening to the Hot Car Podcast.
This happened on Tuesday, and we know it was really hot that day. It's hot car. Joining us live in the Alert Center.
How long did you last in a hot car?
Facts that the heat index that day was 105 degrees. Hot car.
We don't yet know about a potential third suspect who was seen speeding away from federal agents at the scene. The whole thing had been a mystery to neighbors.
Hot car.
This is not an accident. This is pure negligence.
So, without further ado, let's welcome the dynamic duo, Hammy and Marcus, to the world of podcasting. It's time to jump into the hot car and ride into the unknown. Enjoy the show.
So, she, I guess, ordered like 48 oysters and just slurped them all down. Well, this guy was just watching her, and then he just left. Then she got more food.
Hi, this is Ron Green. You're listening to the Hot Car Podcast.
Yeah, that's it. Welcome to another episode of the Hot Car Podcast. And watch out for the headlines.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone reads the headlines. They never read the article. So,
Oh, yeah.
news review.
DOJ.
Oh, that's funny. So the first thing that comes up, July 12th, right? Southern Oregon Blues Festival comes to Winston.
Uh-huh.
Um,
You didn't even mess with the algorithm.
The second article is from August 23rd. Yeah. But then Bing says, hey, I found a Facebook event page for the Southern Oregon Blues Festival that took place in Winston. The festival was held at Winston Oregon Community Center and surrounding Village Winston Community Park. The event was free and lasted for 2 days. The festival celebrated the rich tradition of blues music and featured vendors, food trucks, beer and wine garden, live painting, and good vibes all around. Unfortunately, I could not find any reviews of the festival. Huh. And then it gives like a recommendation. If you're interested in attending a blues festival in the future, you might want to check out Rats Brews and Blues Festival in Klamath Falls. Yeah.
I've heard that one.
Who performed at the Southern Oregon Blues Festival? Let's see if it says so. Interesting. Well, we know that Bing thought it was a good time.
Yeah.
See the second article. That's interesting. We'll have to get into this more because I can't really get into it right now. But it says that there was a violation of some kind, and then it indicates that, according to me, that they did not reach out. But that's in this article that the charity did not reach out with an explanation. So we're still kind of in the dark about what exactly the problem is.
Too bad. They got paid.
And then this other comment here by the third party, and like this guy's talking like he has all this information, like how we did or didn't do certain things. That's very, because that's not, this statement is just not accurate.
None of it.
Like, and I think a lot of it is a combination of just animosity and bad information.
Take more animosity.
Yeah, I think that's right. Because if you really dig down into like the truth, it's not like this.
Well, it looks like everything that they were stating was done wrong is backed up with paperwork saying it wasn't.
Oh yeah, and the people who know better said so too. This is definitely something we want to get into more. I know that we're kind of teasing.
People are listening. People are wanting.
Well, because it's an interesting story, and I think I think what we need is to talk to people who attended and or vendors and people like that.
Vendors,
artists, to give the other perspective, because I think if we give it, I mean we can give our own point of view, but I don't know if it'll be respected as much as if it was coming from other people. Because then we can back up kind of what they're saying, or argue or whatever.
Debate.
Argue. It is.
Debate.
Discuss. We
strive to be a master debater.
We can find common ground. Right.
Yeah, that's a subject that can go on forever. It's a big one.
Yeah.
When a third party jumps into a situation and ruins a good thing, and then what?
Yeah. See, I think part of the reason we got backlash is because we promoted it so well that people thought they could take advantage of like the success of what we were doing. We know how it is for bands in this area. Like no one. I mean, you're lucky if people even show up.
Correct.
So the idea was that we'd get a bunch of people together, combine forces, and it works. I mean, everyone had a great time. Like even the people who were complaining seemed to be having a great time. That's the funny thing, Really, when you come to
the ones that were complaining stayed for the whole thing and after.
Right.
Some of them.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, and the fact that there were some disputes, I guess, before particular bands even played, and then they ended up playing anyway, kind of knowing what the circumstances were. Yeah, there's just a lot of goofy stuff that happened at the very end that kind of like put in some people's minds, put like a negative spin on it all, even though it's hard to find anyone who didn't enjoy themselves. Like, that's the weird part. All of the complaints were basically they didn't really have anything to do with the event itself. They had everything to do with like what people thought of us.
Correct.
Yeah, like it was all personal.
We don't like Hammy. We haven't liked Hammy for 10 years.
Right.
People get like that, and they hold on to these grudges thinking they're going to stop somebody, but most of the time it just inspires them to keep going and push harder.
Right, it all seems to have come down to politics, which is even more goofy. It's not even a real thing. It's just like, oh, I have this political opinion, and so therefore I don't like it. That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just a bad reason to like have a conflict with somebody because you're like a different political party.
Well, the political parties here, they're both extreme. You got the Republican side and you got the Democrat.
Right.
The Democrat side say the Republicans as all MAGA extreme, and then you have the Republicans yelling at the extreme environmentalists,
Right.
saving the owl, tear down the dams, and they just go back and forth, and nothing grows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we see that even locally with venues having trouble staying open, and like the deal with Sunnyside, they get shut down like out of nowhere, and it just makes you wonder. And then I was reading some of the comments, and somebody was saying, "Oh, this isn't about the venue itself, or it's like some personal thing." That doesn't make any sense either, because if it was a personal thing, you would just like hand over the business to someone else to run while you're dealing with whatever it is. But it sounded more like, to me, it just sounded like lack of support for the things that were going on, and you just see that all over the place. Like, and then people complain about how places are closing down, and they never even went.
So bad, yeah.
They never even showed up.
So bad.
Like the E3 show. That's interesting because I think we sold 30 tickets out of like over 100 available, and even with 30 tickets sold, that was enough to make everyone happy. The venue got their money, the performers got their money, and we actually walked away without having to. We made a little bit of money too. Yeah,
we did. We made a little profit.
Yeah, it was like a couple $100, and
that don't happen often.
No. We talked to all kinds of people about putting on shows and why they don't do it anymore, or these stories about how bad actors came in and messed things up, or we had to deal with that a little bit ourselves with a lot of last minute vendor like dropouts before they paid their fee, and something that we were expecting. So that caused some financial hardships for us too, and that's never really been discussed either. Like, and it's not really anyone's fault. It's just that
we were run on the honor system. You say you're
gonna do it, and then they had like five. We had like 5 vendors like say, "Oh, we can't do it for this reason or that reason."
Last minute.
Sick kid, out of town. Doctor's appointment, like for a family member. There was all of these other kind of, just daily life troubles that people go through, and that's the thing that I think should have been better understood by anyone who was complaining about whatever they were complaining about.
Well, it's like nowadays people complain about vendor fees. Well, we got to put this much up. Well, it's because of these reasons. The honor system is broken.
Yeah, and I've been pretty lucky with wedding music, just on a kind of a casual agreement. Well, last year it worked really well. Actually, this year I'm running into like more of an issue with people just trying to renegotiate their agreements. There's just a lot of that, and I don't know if it's because I imagine it's for like economic reasons, where they agree to a certain amount and then realize that, oh, that's too much. I mean, we dealt with that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
One of the bands that was hired, early on, we discovered that they were like way too expensive, and we developed an agreement with the leader that they were going to be able to donate their time. And but the trouble is that was all verbal. Yeah, and then it's like you were saying, it's
he said, she said.
But it's an honor system. You know, if the agreement changes and you know it, to pretend like you never agreed to the new terms in the first place is ridiculous. Like that, I don't even understand how people do that.
And then knowing that it will force back to the original agreement.
Oh yeah, kind of. That's how. I mean, that's a risk, you know. To not. I mean, I made a mistake. It was not reflecting a change in agreement on the written stuff. And I didn't think I was going to have to do that, because it sounded like the person I was talking to really was telling me the truth. And later on, I found out that it was more about this idea that this guy got in his head that, oh, look, Sobfest looks like they're really becoming like successful. So I'm just going to make a bet that they'll have that, even though he told me so, that he figured that we were doing well enough so that we'd be able to change our minds again and go back to that original agreement, even though that was never what was agreed to. Yeah, it just I mean, and if people want to know more details about that kind of stuff, I guess ultimately we can kind of get into it. It's still a touchy subject, but I think for some, but it's definitely worth talking about. And
the DOJ outcome was the best.
Oh, right.
Only
right.
80 page.
I still haven't seen that. There was apparently a report, right, that was sent.
Yeah, 80-page report.
Yeah.
From the Fab Four.
Right. Anonymous.
Yeah, anonymous.
Yeah, they told.
We got it now.
They told me there were 4 anonymous complaints. And
imagine that, and it's the same 4 people that had the problem at the event.
Well, you know what's funny though, but 2 of the people had no problem at the event. 0. The main people.
Correct. The main people had no problem.
No problem with payment, no problem with set times, no problem with anything. Until they jumped in with they were assuming stuff that wasn't true, and then just decided to create a big mess. And
the adult beverages probably didn't help throughout the day.
Well, that's
not bringing that in as a factor.
No, but that's interesting too.
But there was a lot of that throughout the whole day.
Sure.
People were telling me, like, wow, is that the VIP area behind?
Oh, right. There's special
they thought it was
VIP area.
People thought it was a VIP area because everything that was going on back there.
Yeah, that was absolutely not. I didn't know.
We did not know
because we were busy doing other stuff. And that was totally out of bounds. Like, they should not have been having any alcohol there at all. I mean, that was not approved. It wasn't. No one asked. No one said it was okay. But I guess the difference is that, you know, well, also due to the fact that we found out kind of after the fact, we didn't make any big fuss about that.
Nope,
like
nothing.
Because that's okay. Even though it's okay to, bend the rules or whatever, that's fine. Like, I mean, the event itself was like pretty.
We had checks
pretty damn
the
good.
Day. Throughout the day, city people and everything, park people came in.
No violence, no trash.
No.
It was very nice. But yeah, that special VIP area, that was. I mean, isn't that payment enough in a way?
Yeah.
Nobody else got that.
Correct.
Oh man.
Hi, this is Ron Green, listening to the Hot Car Podcast.
What?
In Oregon, a dead person cannot be required to serve on the jury. On the law book.
There has to be a law for that, because if there wasn't a law, a dead person would serve on a jury. I don't know how they would.
Well, they got one here for Myrtle Creek.
I don't know how they would state their verdict. The dead person. What's up in Myrtle Creek?
Oh man, they got. Yeehaw!
Oh no!
One may not bathe without wearing suitable clothing, that which covers one's body from neck to knee.
Where are they bathing? Outside?
Myrtle, I guess in the creek.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so
Back when they had the vigilantes for justice.
Oh, so you can bathe, but you just have to be covered up. You wash your clothes at the same time.
From neck to knee.
Wow.
Neck and knee. You got one of them neck and knee suits?
So the big question, I guess, is are we going to be holding an event next year?
Yes.
Birmingham is the idea.
The vision is Birmingham.
Right.
So
I have some information about Birmingham. Yeah, like the ideas, art installations. So we want to encourage local artists to contribute interactive, eco-friendly art installations that kind of reflect the essence of sustainability and community. Kind of that idea we were having about the what was it? No trash, or like a no
zero waste.
Zero waste event, right? So with that,
well, getting to that is where we have a food vendor, and they've got regular plates that you would use at home, and then there's a washing station where people are washing their plates and bringing them back.
Right.
And it's saving all that paper and trash going in.
With I guess, workshops, like permaculture, renewable energy, sustainable living workshops, maybe a sustainable living showcase, like a space where vendors and exhibitors can showcase eco-friendly products from handmade crafts, renewable energy solutions, collaborative art projects with the community that involve social cohesion, bringing everybody.
So focusing more on stuff than music.
Well, right.
Have some entertainment, maybe keep the masses a little bit happy, but focus more on the sustainability.
Right, the music and performances part. We want those people to participate.
Have an experience.
Who align with those ideas.
Correct. Because we have many events within the area. Lots of music events.
Right.
But not many catering to just where the arts, where the music is there, but it's just like a side, not the main focus, the main draw.
It could, if we want to, use, zero waste principles. They could be unplugged performances, or battery powered, that kind of thing.
Or like Mark Barada, the traveling troubadour.
Right.
He just grabs the guitar, walks, and picks up people as they go.
So we need to get Mark Barada on the show.
Mark Barada needs to get in here.
Right. And then, so all these community building activities and maybe some camping facilities on site. And then, of course, we need to at the end have the Birmingham ritual. We're going to do a symbolic burning ceremony, I guess, of a giant wooden pig.
Yeah, wooden pig. Get it done just before fire season kicks in good old Oregon.
Right, early June is the idea. So, regardless of what anybody else thinks, or the people who don't necessarily like us, we're going to do it anyway.
Fab Four.
The Fab Four, and we also we invite. I guess we invite even them to come on and as soon as we get our call-in situation worked out, I mean,
Let's debate it out.
we can debate it out. So there you go. I mean, that's the message that
Yo, Adrian!
we'll talk to anybody.
Correct. You want to talk? We'll talk it out.
Yep.
We know we got many listening out there, and if they're not listening, they're going to share it with them.
I would hope so, because I mean, this was really our little blues festival was just that. It was just a little blues festival, and you know, we did a really good job in promoting it, and everyone knew about it, and so many people showed up, and some people took advantage of, I guess, the success and decided to use that to create their own platform to say, you know, negative things. But I think ultimately that's only going to hurt them, and just because I mean,
It actually opened more doors for us. Many of the vendors are already waiting for next year. They
Right.
wrote it right after the event. Hey, we're in for next year.
True. I think the most disappointing thing was all that disruption kind of caused us to have to postpone some other, you know, events that were planned, and
Already in the making.
and
book, venues taken care of.
yeah, but these negative stories that were put out there really kind of made people pause, and you know, it's understandable, like, but I don't think there were enough people who actually asked us directly about what was going on. They were just taking their word for it, and they just had a bunch of wrong information that got spread around. It spread around so much that even the state of Oregon took interest, and I'll definitely talk more about those conversations with the Department of Justice, because that was interesting, and ultimately it turns out that from their point of view, from the Department of Justice's point of view, the main problem was the interference, and you know, they let me know that we hadn't really done anything wrong, but they have to look into stuff. If there are complaints, it's kind of like the police. If you call 911, they have to show up, even if you're lying about it. They still have to show up. So that was interesting. I never really had an experience like that before, talking with
The phone call, yeah.
the phone call and the emails, and like, and send me your documents and all of this stuff. You know, it ultimately turned out okay, and yeah, we'll talk more about that when we can.
That's some of the inspiration for this podcast.
Definitely
To get the
something.
information out, because we do have paperwork to back up all their negativity. Where they had a good thought of what they thought had happened
Right.
before they did any legwork to really check it out.
Yeah.
We've got so much we can talk about this subject, and we'll just say we'll keep you waiting.
We'll just, yeah, because there's a lot. I think some people wanted the story of how it all started from kind of the beginning to the end, like the you're sending me the text, you want to do a blues festival.
Yeah.
Back in January of this year.
Yes.
And so we spent 7 months putting this all together, and yeah, so that's the other really funny thing, because we really did spend a lot of time putting this all together, and the idea that that we would spend that much time,
Two people.
6 months, 7 months, in order to like do some kind of scam like that.
Yeah.
Like that's
2 different city council meetings.
That's a lot of dedication.
Parks department meetings.
Right. So we're going to the cities and we're going to the parks and we're going to the bands and vendors and the sponsors, and this whole time, it's really just a scam. No, it was just a concert in a park that went really well, and some people at the end of the thing had to put a negative spin on it. That's really kind of what it comes down to. But the whole story is pretty interesting, I guess. A lot of lessons about how to and how to not put something like this together. You know, yeah, it's
the do's and don'ts on transparency.
Right.
Transparency
That's
is
interesting.
a big thing.
That's so interesting too, because the idea that we had was to be as fully transparent as possible, and then as we went on, my views kind of changed about that. Because what happened in some cases was that transparency was kind of used against us. Because, you know, when they took information and twisted it and made it into something else that really wasn't the case.
We were transparent.
Yeah.
We were transparent to everybody that needed to be transparent with in that circle.
Right.
And then we didn't feel that anybody outside of that circle we had to be that transparent.
Right. Well, the people that had issues, like
Yeah, if you had an issue,
the people that had
Have
issues, there was the thing about the electricity, and in that case, you know, it's our responsibility. But we got bad information from the venue that we then passed on to the food truck, and we didn't know that was wrong until we found out that was wrong.
correct.
And then we made accommodations for that. So any obstacle that popped up, we were able to handle it. I know there was one upset vendor who didn't come back for Saturday. She was disappointed and actually even requested a fee refund, which was paid. I actually fought that. And she was fully refunded, and I only got hit for part of that, which was nice, because the lady who came in Saturday,
she made a post, a comment to that
on them
coming in.
That's part of the reason that I didn't have to pay the full amount, because the lady who took her place on Saturday did quite well.
Made her booth fee back within the first half hour.
Right.
And
So
she even posted.
So it just goes to show you that, you know, sometimes you gotta stick it out and not give up on it. On a slow day. Another interesting story is that one of the inside vendors, who was right in the main hall, didn't do as well as she thought she would. So, because a lot of the complaints were like, oh, it was so hot outside, and the vendors inside, they did better because they were in a better environment. Not necessarily. It's all about kind of what you have to offer too.
Right.
You can't blame the audience on not liking your stuff. I mean, if they don't like it, they don't like it. But yeah, so there's a lot of different aspects that people aren't really aware of, and there's so many moving parts in any kind of music festival event like this that you kind of have to expect that with only 2 people putting it all together, really, and you're talking about hundreds of people involved. There's going to be some glitches. There's going to be some miscommunication. But I mean, I don't know. The amount of like fuss that was raised about what people made up, I guess. I don't even know how. I don't know
some of it is made up.
Just made up.
It's just straight made up.
And even though there were like misrepresentations about us and that were looked into, ultimately it was discovered that those complaints were just empty.
No foul.
Empty. No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul.
And if you think you can do it better, do it better. Like, let's see you try this. If there's a challenge, like if you think that we're so bad at getting people together and doing these amazing events from the ground up, then show us how to do it. Rather than complaining that we didn't do it to your specifications, you show us how to do it. I don't see that happening. In fact, I don't see anyone showing up to these people's shows at all, especially the complainers. Like, show me a show where you get more than 5 people showing up for free.
You just had Pence, who had
that was so crazy.
13 people.
It was like a public library or something.
13 people showed up.
Yeah, hectic.
Yeah, very hectic.
Everyone's looking like they're ready to take a nap.
Yeah, there were 13 people napping.
It was to Mike Pence.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had like a Mike Pence, I guess, too.
Correct.
Yeah. So funny.
And we didn't charge $500 for tickets.
We didn't charge a damn thing. That was the other part of this. This was free, and part of the bullshit was that we added in I added a $10 suggested donation to help pay for the event, not the charity. That was clearly understood. Charity money went to a charity bucket. Everything else was designated as event funds, voluntary, all of it. The fact is that the money that was to be donated and was donated to the charity was set aside months in advance.
And we had a date to when it to be submitted.
Right.
There's wording for that, but Hammy's not real good at them big words.
Well, no, there was like a deadline,
Deadline.
Yeah. Which was like 30 days after the event. I'm the one who made the deadline. Everything was based on what we were able to offer. There was nothing. It was not a demand. It wasn't like, oh, you better do this, or no. It was a gift that ended up getting to where we're supposed to go, which is good, because the route that it had to take to get there was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it got there.
I think. Well, somebody's got it.
We got to trust the government on this.
We got to trust the government on this one.
We got to trust the DOJ that they're going to follow through.
Right, because there was so much confusion made about our relationship with the charity that we were forced by the state of Oregon to send the money in through them.
To them, and then they would distribute it.
Because the charity, because of these lies that were told, or
by the third party
messaging them, they got so scared that they decided they could not.
They didn't want it.
Accept the money, and the people of the DOJ said they had never even heard of such a thing, and so therefore they offered to help us send the money to the scared charity so they could still get their money.
Right.
Yeah. Like, all they did was waste everybody's time and we still did what we needed to do. So there you go. And yeah.
There'll be more.
There'll be
There's
more.
lots more. Oh, man.
All right. Well, I think, let's see. I think that's it. I think that's it for our little
You got
intro.
enough stuff to play with there.
Okay.
Worked out good.
Bob Seger song.
It's freaking me out.
It's